ora Rotorua ahead in tonight's bulletin. A multi-million-dollar development at Rainbow Springs. Part of the Whakarewarewa forest to be closed. And police using Facebook and Twitter for Rugby World Cup. Those stories and more in detail tonight on City News. The construction of Rainbow Springs' new multi-million-dollar attraction is well underway. Last week, a traditional blessing at the park signalled the start of construction of Project Big Splash, a high-tech water ride showing the ecological evolution of New Zealand. Rainbow Springs Project Director Stuart Brown says the construction and eventual running of the ride will provide much needed enjoyment and employment. And Mr Brown says he's looking forward to completion next year as the ride will be spectacular.
And I guess the big ticking item is the big water ride that we're putting in, which is going to tell this ecological history of New Zealand. So starting with pre-human New Zealand, we've got a big animatronic cast eagle attacking a moa, which are going to be pretty spectacular. And then moving into the arrival of Maori into New Zealand with a PAR site, and we'll be working with local Ngaravakawi and how we put that together. And then the Europeans arrived, of course, and with those a whole lot of pest and things, and the timber industry. So we've got a little 1800s timber town. And then we've got a huge cave, which is really a cave where it's got wetters and things like that, little jets of air that'll send those sensations around. And then finally a hydraulic lift up into the treetop canopy towards the Ferry Spring end of the park. And that's will lead to the big splash that you've got to have in these rides, which will be a 12-metre drop down into the pool.
Stuart Brown says the Rainbow Springs development is the largest single investment made in the park since it opened in 1932. Ngai Tahu Tourism, owners of Rainbow Springs, say the $10 million project has been months in the planning. Chief Executive John Thorburn says the investment is a sign of Ngai Tahu's confidence in Rotorua and the tourism industry in general.
We see Rotorua as an absolutely critical area for New Zealand tourism. It's one of the foundation stones of tourism, and we want to be part of it, and we're very respectful of our opportunity to participate in tourism in Ngāti Whakaue's rohi particularly, and we have a very good relationship with the tangata whenua.
And we have more on Rainbow Springs development later in the program. Severe tree damage during recent storms in Rotorua has resulted in parts of the Whakarewarewa forest being closed to the public for a number of weeks, while urgent harvesting is undertaken to make the area safe. The top of the Tokorangi Ridgeline will also be closed from tomorrow until the end of August, resulting in a number of roads and mountain biking, walking and horse tracks being out of commission for a period of time. Rotorua District Council's Redwood Forest and Visitor Centre Manager Julian Wilkinson says old crop radiator pine in the area have become unstable due to recent high winds. Ms Wilkinson says there has also been a significant wind throw, blocking roads and tracks with fallen trees and suspended broken branches becoming a potential danger. Signs with maps and information will be located at main entry points to the forest and are available on the Redwoods website. The Tokorangi Forest, which is popularly known as the Redwoods, is bounded by the Tarawera, Long Mile, Radio Hut and Tokorangi Pa roads. The land is privately owned by iwi through Central North Island Iwi Holdings Limited and managed by Rotorua District Council. Hearings on submissions made to the Council's draft annual plan began yesterday, with the Employers and Manufacturers Association saying Rotorua residents should be pleased the Council's planned rates increase for next year is among the lowest in New Zealand. Peter Atkinson of the EMA commended the Rotorua District Council and City Council for the low rates increase, which is well under the 4% inflation rate, adding that the Council has kept rates increases low for the third year in a row. However, the EMA is also disappointed with our economic growth, and Mr Atkinson says business development in the region should be a focus, utilising an economic development model based on tauranga. The EMA would also like to see Rotorua become a fourth member of the region's Golden Triangle, joining Auckland, Hamilton and Tauranga. In sport tonight, Bay of Plenty police are using social network sites as key tools in their Rugby World Cup plans. The police have set up Facebook and Twitter accounts to help spread key messages ahead of the Cup. The District Communications Manager for Bay of Plenty Police, Jackie James, says they were set up not only to provide a new way of communicating with local community, but also to reach visitors before they arrive in the region. Mrs James says the Bay of Plenty is a major visitor attraction, with large numbers of domestic and international visitors heading to our part of the world every year. She says these people don't have access to local newspapers or radio before they arrive, so social media offers another way to send key information before they get here. Information on the sites includes liquor ban maps, key event information, road policing, traffic warnings, road closures, parking and general safety information. Jackie James says social media will be a particularly important tool in trying to reach the thousands of overseas visitors before they arrive in the Bay of Plenty during Rugby World Cup. To weather now. Tonight, fine, cool southerlies, overnight a low of 3. Tomorrow, Thursday, long, fine spells, southwesterlies, a high of 13 and a low of 7. Outlook for Friday, long, fine spells, southwesterlies, a high of 15 and a low of 6. Marine forecast for Lake Rotorua tomorrow, Thursday, southwest 15 knots and waves about half a metre and fine. If you've missed any of tonight's bulletin, you can watch it again by going to tvrotorua.co.nz and click on the View Latest City News link, or to view what's on in our city, click on the Upcoming Events link. A reminder now that Age Concern is running a Tai Chi demonstration tomorrow morning, so if you want to have a go at that, head along to their offices in Henemore Street. Still to come in tonight's program, a report from the groundbreaking ceremony at the new development at Rainbow Ferry Springs, and we hear from iconic Kiwi group Arija.